Hello and welcome to another video from Miniature Tanks Company. In this video we'll be working on this kit. So the first step of what I will do is cut away the sprues, the support pieces. I use these hobby pliers to cut away at them. And sometimes I suggest you wear safety glasses. Sometimes the sprue pieces, little plastic bits, can go flying in every which way. So you want to protect your eyes. And this little piece, be careful with. It can go flying if you're not careful as well. So each piece within this centerpiece of the tank, the main structure piece of the tank, has a sprue piece. Each piece plays a role, and we'll be gluing them together soon. So yeah, piece by piece, just take the sprue plastic off, and yeah, and then this one is the little turret that goes on the top. And last but not least, after this one, we will be cutting away the gun. And this one's a heavy assault tank built by the British in World War II. From what I read, there was only a few of them made, and it was mainly a prototype type tank. Okay, so for the support pieces underneath this gun, you want to carefully take your snippers or hobby pliers and cut away at it, kind of like what I'm showing here. You just cut away at it at kind of angles, or just manipulate it a little bit carefully to get that flash off, that support plastic. Just want to cut away at that. And then after you cut away at it, and then this muzzle area you want to be careful with, but also you can cut away and clean that up a bit. After cleaning up the major parts of this off of this gun, you can take a sanding stick, go ahead and clean it up with sandpaper or a sanding stick or a file or whatever. Alright, like I'm showing here, I'm using the sanding stick to just kind of clean up the underside of the gun there. Yep, so I'll just speed this up, but you can carefully sand away, make it look nice. Once you've sanded that, I'm going to throw away the extra bits of plastic that have accumulated. Now it's the gluing stage. So this piece is a bigger one. There's a few pieces to glue together. First step is just to glue these two middle structural pieces together like I showed you. Gluing this is easy enough. Just dab a bit of glue on the edges there. Put your lid back on your glue. Alright, so this piece just goes on the front there. Right there. And you can actually put it on a flat surface, and that will make sure that it goes down correctly. So I like to look around and make sure that it's being glued together in the right spot. But that one's self-explanatory, really easier piece to glue together, so I just set it aside. Up next, you just take the glue, put it around the top edge of the cylinder here, and then just put your little turret on top. And of course you want to make sure that it goes in the middle. So you can move this cylinder around until you make sure it's going in the middle, and I set it like that. just to glue and dry. Alright, now this one's a bit more tricky. This one is where we will glue the gun onto that piece. You don't want to use too much glue on this, otherwise glue will... Alright, so just try to put it center, and then if it's standing up like this, then that's a good indication that you've set it well. And I am actually right now I'm looking at it down from the top view, making sure that it's at a good 90-degree angle or whatever. So while all those pieces are gluing together, I'm going to glue this little tiny piece on just to make sure that it's there, not going to be lost. That little piece I was worried about, because these little pieces sometimes can be lost. So this one I'm actually going to take tweezers. Sometimes those are helpful for tiny little pieces like this. Now this is the little MG or whatever from in the front of the tank. Okay, just put it like I'm showing you there. Alright, so I'm going to prop that up so that can glue well. Now is the time to glue these together. This one actually goes on the right side of the tank. So it's like this. So you want this part of the track facing out. Yep, that's how it will go. Alright, so then just go ahead and dab some glue there. This one is nice in that it has spots that you know where the glue will go and touch this part. So just like that. So just make sure that they're even together with the front little mud flap or whatever you, or skirt, not skirt, mud skirts or whatever you want to call it. The front thing, that make sure it goes well there, and then in the back make sure it's even flat. And sometimes I push these pieces around to make sure that they're perfect. So now I'm going to glue on the other side, the right side of the track. And I'm actually gluing on glue at an incorrect location there. Don't glue it there. You want to glue it on the bottom, not the top. So that was a mistake, but this is why these videos are made, so you can do it correctly. Now I've just figured it out that I put glue in the wrong spot. So put glue on the bottom there. And it doesn't matter that I put glue in the wrong spot because that part of the tank will be hidden, not be visible at all. Okay, like the other side, just make sure that the front feature and the front curve area is even in place there, and it's all flat along the way. Yep, just double check, make sure it's all lining up well. So I'm actually going to set that aside, let that glue. Now, taking this piece, dabbing a bit of glue here. And then this piece right there. And actually, later you'll see me changing this up a bit. you want to make sure that the bottom piece of the gun is facing to the ground. In this way, it's kind of facing to the right. And I think I just figured it out there. Yeah. So the bottom features of the gun where the support material was taken off, make that face to the ground. That way, if there's any imperfections, it's less visible. But with paint and sanding, a lot of that can be cleaned up. Alright, that's how that should be glued together. So I'm setting that side to dry. So this should be dry and glued together by now. This is the main part of the tank. Now, the top part of the tank. Pretty simple the way it goes down. Yep. So just take glue and put it on the edges there. Putting it on all of these edges. More glue, better. It will, at least with this Gorilla Glue, it'll glue in better if you put more. But then also, I don't want to put too much because why waste a bunch of glue? With time, you can figure out what's the correct amount of glue with whichever glue you use. And that's how that top piece should go down. And like I do with all pieces, just kind of look around, make sure that it's going down correctly. Oh, and then this one, I'm tapping each corner of the tank, making sure that the tracks are down evenly on a flat surface. You know, like a chair. If the chair's is not flat, you can tell, then you... Yeah, anyways. Alright, so then for this back piece, you put glue along all the edges here. And this piece, actually, speaking from experience, you might want to put a little more glue than that. Make sure that it glues down well. Alright, so I'm going to skip over some of this video because I fiddled with this quite a bit. If I would have just put a little more glue and just held it with my finger like I'm doing now, it would have worked better. Alright, so after fiddling with a clamp and different things, it didn't work, so just put a bunch of glue and hold it down until it's dried. Or if you have quick setting glue, that's a perfect scenario for it, that back piece. Now to glue on the fixed turret, or the gun, the front gun. There we go. Just put glue there, and then put the piece like this. And everything's... So make sure that, like I said, hold down that back piece, hold the front piece. Sometimes it's best just to be patient, hold down the glue. But like I said, if you do have quick setting glue, these big pieces on the top of the tank are a perfect scenario for that. That would be much better. I just have so much Gorilla Glue, I want to use it up. Alright, so that is that. This tank can be found at miniaturetanks.com. I have it in a bunch of scales available. This one here is the 28mm, and this one's the 15mm. Thanks for watching.